there's a couple out on the lot taking pictures all over the place. And I sit and wait a while until they're finished, and then I went up to them and I said, "Are you from out of town?" They said, "Yes, we are. We're from Tennessee." I said, "Well, really?" And the young man said, "Do you know that this is the very first Burger King in the world?" And I listened a while and I said, "Yes, I do know that. It's ours."
We're getting ready for the noon rush. We got 150 pounds of hamburger today. They're balling it up. The meat was ground this morning. That's why our hamburger is so much better than everybody else's. It is fresh, never frozen. You know the difference between fresh strawberries and frozen strawberries? It's the same thing with hamburger. We don't have the mustard up here yet, but they have mustard and ketchup, mayonnaise, relish, onions, pickles, lettuce,
Tartar sauce.
And we make most of the things ourselves. We do everything we can. We make our own chili, and we really sell a lot of chili. Of course, my last name is Hoots, so during high school, my brother is a year and a half younger. I was called Big Hooter, and he was called Little Hooter. We had to name our double burger something, and we came up with the idea of Hooter. And at that time, the Hooter was not what it is now with the young people. And it's been interesting through the years, the look on people's face when they see that we've got Hooters for sale.
When you go in there and you place your order and then you go back to pick up your order, they will give you a number on a piece of paper. And they'll say, "Number 22," and they call your number out. And everybody over the years has just gotten used to that. And it's real unique. And the voice that they use is just booming. And you just listen for the number. And it's fun.
It says, without it, it wouldn't be Matt Chicken. It wouldn't be home. Heart meat. Yeah.
In 1952, banana splits were 30 cents, gas was 25 cents a gallon, bread was 10 cents a loaf, Harry Truman was president, and things were a lot simpler. We bought an ice cream store from my uncle. It was similar to a Dairy Queen. It sat on the front of the lot here at where our Burger King is now. A very small operation. After I did it the first year without being married. And I realized that I needed somebody to kind of hold my hand when I went home and to help me run the operation.
I laughingly tell everybody, I have as long as we've been here, that Jean needed help. That's the only reason I got into it.
We ran it for 3 years, and then on the back of the lot, a building that was a pickup station for dry cleaners went out of business. I said, let's see if we can remodel that and do burgers back there.
We decided we needed a name for the Burger King. Well, we said, we have ice cream and it's Frigid Queen. Why don't we call it the Burger King? That takes care of everything.
So we did, and we registered the name with our attorney, and we have a certificate to this day that we renew every 5 years. It says Jean and Betty Hoots have the sole right to use the name of the Burger King in the state of Illinois. Signed by Charles F. Carpentier, the Secretary of State. And about 3 or 4 years after that, I saw in our National Restaurant magazine an article that said that they were opening a Burger King in Skokie, Illinois. So I took it over to my attorney, and he said, well, they can't do it. So he wrote him a letter, and they wrote a letter back, and we sued him.
And we felt we were entitled to the exclusive use of that name in the state of Illinois because of our Illinois trademark. And so we either contacted Burger King or they contacted us, and I don't remember the scenario, but Eventually, litigation was the result, and we hoped to protect the name, and of course they hoped to be able to take the name and exclude us from that use.
The back door of the courthouse opened up, and in walked a man, tall, straight, with a beautiful suit, one of the prettiest suits I've ever seen. Probably at that time a $500 suit. Behind him marched 6 more attorneys, all in suits, and we were impressed. And we were afraid the judge would be impressed. Well, he was to a degree, but they did say we had the name first and they were going to have to change their name. Well, they took it to the Illinois Supreme Court. They ruled, although we obviously had the name first, they had a trademark, which is national, what we have after our mark, but and we had a state mark. And so they allowed us an area 20 miles radius from Mattoon that they can't come into. They offered us a sum of money before we left the courthouse, but it wasn't nearly enough, and we wanted the name. We didn't want to sell them our name, so we didn't. So we've been here 58 years using the Burger King name, which is ours. But besides my wife, it's my life. I come to work every morning. I am 90% of the time here before anybody else is, and I check the registers, and I check our specials, and do the advertising, and I work a little bit every day except Sunday. And I don't work really that much, but I work about 3 hours during the noon hour, and get to see people I haven't seen for a long time and wouldn't get to see if we were retired. And we can't help but notice over and over again our friends who retire, and you say, what are you going to do? I'm going to do just what I please. And about half of them, before the year's over, have died. I think your body needs a motive. I think it needs to work. I think it needs to be busy. And I think it keeps you younger and happier to keep on working.
That's the background. They grew up in the Depression during very, very difficult times. They survived that and thrived, and proceeded to work really hard with nothing, took some risks, started a small restaurant, and it worked out really well. And you would think that, well, with those types of challenges, would you be very work-centered and that's all you achieved?
You know, we were big into music for a while, and I still am writing songs. It was this particular song, we released 3 different songs. I Just Can't Wait, and Reunion Time. This is Jack Reno who sang our song, and this is our CD, Jack Reno, and at this particular time, this is the top 100 country song singles. At the time then, we were number 54. We were in high cotton. But we never made it big, and we had to spend our own money to do the developing of the songs and so forth, and I decided maybe it was a thing we weren't going to do any more than we were doing now.
And I love her so. I just hope that I can keep her loving me. Oh, I really
We have really had fun, and we're still having fun. Age is a little bit in your mind. Look, little kids just love it. I mean, they want every once in a while they say, "Could I have an extra eye?"
She's my sweet baby, and I don't mean maybe.